I'm gonna lob a grenade at you that I've heard lobbed at me. And this isn't something I believe, by the way, but let's just play devil's advocate. There's too many people using high level. There's too many agencies that know the cat's out of the bag. The market's saturated. A bunch of people are letting, free snapshots. They're just giving away the farm. The gig is up. How do you respond to that?
I mean, it's a great question. So I think what I see in the market is a couple of different angles. So new businesses. So the U.S. Chamber of Commerce put out a stat. They look at SIC codes and EIN generations. Every year, there's roughly about 2 to 3, maybe 4 million new EINs generated. So new business entities. Since COVID, that's accelerated to almost 6 million, and I think they're predicting 7 million new EINs being generated this
Wow.
year. Now, sure, some of them are shell companies and blah, 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 but what they are seeing is new businesses starting up. I think from a generational perspective, a lot of people pre-COVID were working for large corporations, or think about just your local service business. Some guy, is a plumber working for a large plumbing company. Well, starting to make a little money, maybe through COVID and stuff, we're seeing this transition where people are now saying, you know what, I'm going to go out and get my own truck and be a one-person show to grow my own plumbing business now. So there's a lot of opportunity for the new generation coming in.
Mm.
So I think there's opportunity there. I think the other opportunity that I'm also seeing is, years ago, the first generations of CRM people that were, coming into the working world in their careers, and they're implementing Act, Salesforce, HubSpots, and Infusionsoft and all these great platforms. And they've been building on it, building on it, building on it. But those individuals who are doing the work, right? A decade ago, 15 years ago, today they've either left the company, they moved up the organization. And so
Mm.
that knowledge transfer is now gone. And so now the new generation coming out of college or young careered individuals are coming in looking at it saying, oh, the system is so antiquated. It's built on the trends back then, right? Where you had different solid newsletters or old
Right.
school websites and stuff. And they're looking at it saying, either we have to hire an outside consultant to rebuild this whole thing, or let's start from scratch. And guess what? The easy tool is us, and you can put your own brand, so that's where our USP comes in. So I think there's a ton of opportunity on that lane. Really, those two lanes just by easy nature. So the opportunity is just never ending.
What pisses me off about the people that make that claim, because I hear it all the time, as a reseller, I hear people like, I can't go resell high level. Everybody else is doing it. Well, it's like, well, no, it's a canvas that you get to paint on. Like,
Yeah.
what are you putting in your, like, I have an agency for Montessori schools. So I created a high level instance that's built specifically for Montessori funnels, automation, follow up, sequences. You know what I mean? Like, it's all just Montessori. You could never in a million years just hand a Montessorian a high level app and say, here, same thing. It's not. So where people are being short sighted is you guys have done such a good job of saying, like, here, customize this for any niche. And until every niche in the world has at least 10 instances, because everybody wants variety, nobody's ever going to be able to convince me that high level saturated.
Yeah. And I love that angle because reality, right? Like people need features, or they think they need features. And I think they're lying to themselves. What they're really looking for is an outcome.
Mm.
And I'm seeing a lot of people get out of the traditional agency space, and they're just walking into a business saying, how can I augment you needing to hire a new person, or augmenting your staff by just building some automations? Because a lot of the day-to-day operational work, a lot of it is centered around sales and marketing, and a lot of it is just administrative flub that comes from the sales and marketing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta send out a PDF to somebody, or send an email internally about this payment that needs to be made with an invoice and stuff like that. Well, if you just go in with that mindset, every business owner needs to optimize, and they want the ability to not have to hire for more. They want to automate it, simplify their process so they can get back to doing what they enjoy. The dentist wants to get back to being a dentist, not sitting in front of their computer trying to figure out, how do I process this invoice or run this credit card payment or teach my front desk staff how to make the phone call. If that can be automated, it makes your life so much easier. So if you kind of look at it being more of a solutions provider or technology automations provider versus the
Mm.
traditional agency, I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And now you can always back into the traditional stuff when the time is appropriate, but it is a wide ocean of opportunity on the automations, and just bringing the tool, being that artist for these businesses.
You mind if I get a little personal with you?
Yeah.
So you're a young guy. You're co-founder of a SaaS company that's on a meteoric rise. I'm pretty sure that's the literal dream. Like in the 80s, everybody wanted to be a movie star. In the 90s, everybody wanted to be a rock star. In the 2000s, everybody wanted to be a pop star. Like we're now in the era where everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but SaaS is the pinnacle. It has the highest valuation. It's what everybody wants to go to. Like you're at the top of the mountain that sits atop all other mountains. That's gotta feel, I guess that's my question. Is like, how does that feel? Like you just wake up every day and you're like, dude, I'm a fucking badass. This is awesome. Where does that even resonate or land, or it's not something you think about?
I try to think about it, but it just doesn't register because it's
Yeah.
like everybody tells us that. And I mean, it's one of those from the outside looking in, it looks great, but from the inside looking out, it's like, nope, I got a customer messaging me right now. Let me go help them. Or,
Yeah. I'm just I'm
I got
answering support tickets and
it's
doing
just
my job.
another normal day, right? And I think that's what makes us a little different because we're in the trenches and we enjoy it.
Right.
We're not trying to chase that vision of being at the top. I think we just got there only because of the organic and the echo chamber that we created of the value that we're bringing. It's not like we're aggressively like, you know what, in 3 years we're going to be at the top of the mountain and then looking at the ivory tower down below in our executive suites. Like we just never had that as the vision. It was just, if we do a lot of great work, a lot of people will like it, and by chance we'll do well behind the scenes.
Dude, you guys are, not to pander, but I'm going to. Like it's unreal just how authentic y'all are and the decisions you make. Like there's authenticity is great, but if it stops at action, it's like, all right, well, you're just being authentically a prick now. But you guys are authentic and then also making decisions that really are, in the best interest of your end customer, which is so unusual. It's a ubiquitous lip service. Every company says it. Y'all are the one of the very few I've ever seen really do it all the way. So for whatever that's worth, I super appreciate you. It's Costin with the Daily Google News, and I'm here with Rob and Alex, who I think probably has one of the hardest jobs in the digital world. You're the co-founder of High Level, which is the fastest growing, most disruptive marketing software that I've ever seen in my entire life. Do you guys consider yourself a MarTech? Is that a pejorative to you? Are you okay